Hey everybody, One Weasel here, 2:35 a.m. We're gonna take Head Rush down the lungs of steel in this. What I did off camera, I took Nitro Head Rush through the base upgrades. I made sure she didn't have like anything crazy happen aesthetically with colors that would be gold and make me change my mind in a path. And if what I understand correctly, Stomp Harder has something that sounds eerily similar to charge control, which turned out to be pretty cool. And when I ran Nitro Head Rush through testing everything, I cut and then started hitting the Gill Grunt dummy here, and we did 86 on the charges, and it never ended. I just kept doing it. I would cut and go, and it never timed out, basically until I just let off of the attack. So I consider that a sign. I should probably let her do that. There is an upgrade there, power steering. They say turning during a charge makes it do additional damage with each turn. That kind of concerns me because I've seen times before with the strategy guide where they've said things that have already happened and then they don't happen. But it claims in the description that gives a nice speed boost. That's what Nitro Head Rush was supposed to have when I bought her from Target, was a speed boost. As you know, I'm a big fan of armor and speed, and she didn't have that. She had plus 24 armor, which I was kind of more concerned about plus 24 speed in the case of a Nitro. But that was offset with her negative 40 on the health. Absolutely no other disparity between them. So, bottom line, Head Rush here is going to get Lungs of Steel, and then Stomp Harder if it does have the speed boost and it's kind of geared more towards speed. That's my logic there. So, that said, I'm excited to actually check this thing out. It's probably going to be hard to document. Looked like she was copping a feel there for 70. Anyway, Lungs of Steel improve yodel attacks. Oh, that's an interesting position we got ourselves into. Alright, that's less creepy now that she flew up. Alright, let's get out of here. We can't though, because that was a pointless transaction. We spent no money, we got nothing, but we will now. Keep in mind, I've got 13 winged sapphires. That's why my prices are weird. For $12.58, we will get high note. Yodel attack does extra damage. Let's go ahead and grab that. That reminds me, there's a TV show I was gonna watch tonight. I forgot to. Anyway, let's see what we got here. So, we were basically doing 40 to 60, 32, yada yada, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and oh wow, that's definitely different. It used to be directional and now kind of encompasses her. The 32 has become a 41. The ground is breaking. Let's try to be in range of this. So 52 would be 78. Oh, this is going to be complicated. 52 to 78. And then 41 to 61. Finish note is what I'm going to call that. This is one of those things, if you read the spreadsheet and you don't understand, you're probably going to come here to the video. That's what you're supposed to do.
Then press the tag button again to return to playing as your Skylander.
I don't know. That was a lot of damage there. So I'm still getting 4 when I just tap it. And then let's see if we can get out of range. This ought to do it. No, it's actually got a lot better range. Note though that from this far away we don't get the proximity, the 41 to 61. It used to be the 32 to 60. I never saw a 48. There we do. So it's about the same thing there. Was that around 20? I don't know. That's one of those things. I've shown it to you. I'm documenting it the best I can. If I sat here and we tried to figure it out exactly, this would literally be like 3-hour videos just for Head Rush, and I don't want to do that. So I'm content with 52, 78, 41, 61. So, up next is Modulate Yodel. The Yodel attack does even more damage, and you can control the pitch with left stick. So 1628. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm hoping left stick doesn't change the damage numbers. That would be cool, but it would also be a nightmare for me. So 68 4 times there. Half of that would be 34, which would be then 102, should be our critical. So let me actually just 52 to 78. I think that was only 3 times, so this is 4. So it's nice they're the same numbers now. 68 to 102, 4 times. So tap equals 4 times. Hold equals. There's a 102, that was nice. This is nice, everything is the same. Well, there's a 54 in there. I don't know what it's doing. Hold equals. How would I word that? What would be the
Press
best
the
way?
tag button to play as your captured enemy. Then press the tag button again to return to playing as your Skylander.
Increased cycles. And you can determine for yourself what increased cycles is. Now, question that remains is, what does the left stick do? So let's just tap and use the left stick. Okay, that's weird. I'm just spinning it around now, that's what I'm doing. Okay, that was the left stick held all the way to the right. I'm going to hold it all the way to the left this time. So that was more like consistent. Going back to the right, it got like deep. So now we're going to go down the entire time, see what happens. Okay, that got a little deeper. Now let's go up, and I assume the pitch will get higher. Okay, so basically the left stick means she has good range. So I'm not going to document that. And we're going to move on to the final upgrade down Lungs of Steel, which is Forget Breaking Glass. Yodel attack is so loud it destroys the ground beneath you. It's kind of already been doing that, but it looks like this might have it like fly up in the air, and that is what I've been waiting for. So 2,200 is our price. We'll go ahead and grab the final upgrade here. She's fully upgraded down the Lungs of Steel path. Just lacks the Soul Gem now, so let's see what this is going to do. I'm just going to tap Y. We're doing 85. So 4 times. So 85, what would half of that be? That would be 42.5, which would be 127 and a half, which to me would be 128, but they're probably not going to round up, so 127. Let's see if we can get that. There was a 127, happy day. Now you'll note the 68 filters in there. It was the 4th hit a couple rounds ago, and then the next time the 4th hit was 127, which is a critical on 85, which that's what makes this stuff is not exactly the most consistent thing in the world. Like right now we fired off 85 at the end each time, but where we could have, there was a 68 at the end. That's below 85. That has nothing to do with 85. And now, if it follows suit, we should end with a 127 pretty soon, right there. So, what the 68's doing in there, I don't know. That's what we had last time that we shouldn't see anymore. But that said, I guess now we have to actually hold it down. So, 4x, and then hold is going to equal what? A bunch of 85s. So yeah, let's looks like the boulders are falling in a triangle shape. And then she finishes with like a 136 thing. You can still change the pitch. Okay. I'm hoping we can like wind a boulder on that far dummy. Okay, so this is the path to take if you like singing.
When you're ready to learn about
this isn't quite as cool as I had hoped it would be. A 68 really bothers me. I don't feel like it has any place in this. I think we're ending it with 4 136s though. I've never seen a critical number off of that though. 204? So I think we had one there. Hold is going to be increased cycles. Haha, you do the math if you care that much. Increased cycles with 136. Half of that would be what, 68, I believe. That is correct. So 130 and 60 is 190. Yeah, 136 to 204 finish. And it also, it's kind of hard to position ourselves. Let's see. She just slid down then. That was pretty interesting. I'm trying to see if, okay, so 68's on the far end of that. So decent range. I wouldn't call it like super long range, but it's better than nothing. So probably works better with real enemies anyway. That said, we've got the Soul Gem now. If you are a fan of what they look like now, it looks like the aesthetics are changing. This is Horns of Plenty. New Traptanium horns do ultimate damage. Price is $29.60. And for my sake and the sake of the video length, let's hope that the horns don't change everything. Alright, so head slam. Wow. So that's a big jump right there. Alright, this is gonna get crazy. Horns of Plenty. Head slam is going to be 130, should be 195 on the critical. So that's increased big time. We were doing 92 to 138 with our charge control, so that's a big jump. 130 to 195. The charges we started out 30 to 45, and then they wound up being 43 all the way up to 86. So let's see what we get. 60s, 75, 90, 105, 120, 120. It looks like 120 is going to max out. Let's see if we can get all the way over here. Nope, we didn't. Alright, so that's not as bad to document as I thought. Charge is going to be 60, 75, 90, 105, 120. Why do I like that? Because it goes up by 15 each time. That is safe and predictable, my friends. I don't think that should impact the stomps or anything else. Still 77 there. That's still the 100. Stomp, stomp, stomp should be 200. Right, I've never seen a 300. I have seen the 150 on the air slam stomp. Yodel shouldn't be affected, but it was, wasn't it? No. Okay, it was 85. So that's good. Now my one thing: if we do the head slam from a jump attack, will that give us the extra damage, or will we still be at 130? This is standard. Let's see what we get with an aerial start. I was hoping that would at least give me my... Because that, to me, that's a pretty sweet attack. I mean, it's not bad when she's up close and personal, but when you jump up in the air and then slam down, it seems like that should do extra damage to me. But that Soul Gem It basically addresses what you had from the beginning with Traptanium horns, and then of course it expanded on our base upgrades. But big boost really for Lungs of Steel having that extra damage. The question now is when we take Nitro down Stomp harder, will she get increases from the base that will then be accented, or will this still max it out? Like maybe she'll get close to the 130 and then, or actually I guess, I don't know, we hadn't taken that. It may not include any upgrades there, but nonetheless, this is nice, and I'm happy with it. I had high hopes for Forget Breaking Glass. I thought it was going to be like one of those chaotic screen cleaner type things, and it's really kind of more of just a mid-range. And the other thing about it, if the boulders are ever hitting anything, they're doing the exact same damage. I mean, 68, 85, 127, that's really all I see. So that's a little bit of a disappointment, but that said, it's not horrible. Obviously, if you're into like opera or choir or singing or whatever, or you role play as a Viking yodeler, that would be the path for you. Personally, I'm kind of thinking I might prefer Stomp harder, but we'll see how it pans out. This isn't a bad path. It's just, I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's not my style. I'm not an opera dude, and I honestly thought this would be a little different than it turned out to be, and I think that's why I'm kind of bummed about it. But it's not bad. It's got decent damage. It's just the one glaring weakness with this path, just off the top of my head. You can't move while you do any of it. So, you might obliterate Chompies and Garden Variety enemies, but when we can't actually go anywhere, you got to keep that in mind. That said, she's got like a really nice... If you look at it like from a bird's eye view, she would have a pretty nice insulation around her, and the way she fires the damage off that quick, it might actually turn out to be pretty effective in game. But it's just, I honestly was expecting more from the boulders flying around. I thought it'd be kind of like like I mentioned, just total chaos on the screen. And it's actually pretty predictable, and sadly, I think what irks me the most is, like, I thought the boulders falling from the sky would do tons of damage, and they're the exact same damage numbers. So unless one just hasn't hit, and I assume by now it would have had that happen. So that said, not a bad path. Like I said, she's kind of got the big insulation factor. Only downside comes with that insulation because it keeps her from being mobile. So this is really going to turn out to be Lungs of Steel is like a stationary, kind of like controlled ranged attack, whereas it looks like Stomp harder, you've got more freewheeling, but at the same time, you're going to lack that protection. You're kind of going to just be in the thick of it from the beginning. So, stationary versus fast-paced, if you will. So, that said, we're going to go throw Nitro on the Portal of Power, see how that pans out, and then I'll be able to compare and contrast the two. I'll work out the final differences on the spreadsheet. I'll get that up. We'll have these videos live. Again, if you take the links at the top of the video description box, you can go to my site or the Skylander Club forum. It'll take you to the Skylander research post on Head Rush. You will see the attack damage numbers for her base upgrades, Lungs of Steel, and Stomp harder. You will also have my comprehensive analysis, and like I said, that spreadsheet will come in handy for you. You can kind of compare and contrast, see if you took the right path, see if you want to switch paths, or more importantly, see if you think, hey, that other path does look like it's going to be pretty cool. I think I'm going to go get a second Head Rush. So that said, as always, thanks so much for watching. If you are not subscribed, make sure you do that. Stay up with all the latest. Tell your friends to do the same thing. You can follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Once again, thanks for watching. I will catch you back here with Nitro Head Rush for some harder stomping.